Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Tuesday, July 6th. Thanks for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We start today with a big victory for families who have had a loved one fall victim to hazing. Governor Mike DeWine today signed a bill into law that makes for stricter penalties for hazing here in Ohio. It's called Collin's Law. Now, this is happening 4 months after a hazing incident led to the death of Bowling Green State University sophomore Stone Fultz. Now, prior to Collin's Law, the most someone in Ohio could face for hazing was 30 days in jail. Now, what Collin's Law does is it increases general hazing to a second-degree misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to 90 days in jail. It also creates more categories. There is now something called aggravated hazing, which causes serious physical harm or death, and that will now be a third-degree felony. Also, Collin's Law requires staff and students to report hazing if they witness it, and if they don't, those people could face criminal charges. Today, Governor DeWine says that what we are saying with this bill is that Ohio will not tolerate hazing. He went on to say, "This is really about culture. The culture of hazing has been accepted. The bill says going forward that hazing in the state of Ohio is not tolerated." Now, Collin's Law was introduced after Fulton's death, but it's named for Collin Wyant, a freshman who died from hazing at a Greek event at Ohio University in 2018. And with that signed into law today, it will go into effect in 90 days. We're also learning today that the Ohio Supreme Court has declined to take the appeal of the former Cleveland police officer who killed Tamir Rice. And with this decision, that effectively ends his attempts to return to duty after the shooting of Tamir Rice. The Ohio Supreme Court today said that it will not hear an appeal brought by the Cleveland Police Union, which is representing former officer Timothy Loehmann. Now, if you recall, Loehmann shot and killed Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old boy who was playing with a pellet gun outside of a recreation center in November of 2014. The city of Cleveland fired Loehmann in 2017, not for killing Tamir Rice, but for providing false information on his job application. An arbitrator and a county judge upheld his dismissal. Loehmann was a new officer at the time that he shot Rice, and that was within seconds of arriving on the scene at the Cuddell Recreation Center. Him and his partner were responding to a call from a man who said that someone was waving a gun, but the man did tell the dispatcher when making that call the gun could be a fake and the person could be a juvenile. A grand jury declined to indict Loehmann, but again later fired, and now his appeal will not be heard by the highest court in the state of Ohio. 7 people have been indicted for burning buildings, faking burglaries, and more in a massive East Ohio fraud scheme that they've been accused of. A grand jury in Mahoning County indicted these 7 people for taking part in this enterprise across 3 counties, Mahoning, Trumbull, and Ashtabula, between 2011 and 2017. Now, 5 of these people are from Youngstown, 1 from the Niles area, 1 from Girard. Tricia Floyd, known as Patricia Floyd, who is 69 years old, is accused of being the ringleader of this criminal enterprise. Now, the alleged crimes include burning several buildings owned by members of the group, defrauding insurers, changing $1 bills into $20, $50, and $100 bills, hiding from the Social Security Administration a mineral rights windfall of more than $30,000 in benefits, allowing that to be collected, and then burglarizing a home intending to destroy evidence about the group's crimes. This will be taking place and is a developing story, so we will continue to bring you updates as we learn them. Now, today is Tuesday, and that's the day that we take a look at the COVID-19 cases around the world, the U.S. and here in Ohio. These first numbers come from Johns Hopkins University. Globally, there have now been a total number of reported COVID-19 cases of 184,359,115. The U.S. has 18.3% of those cases with 33,729,698. Globally, there have been almost 4 million deaths. That exact number now 3,987,555, according to Johns Hopkins University. The U.S. has 15.2% of those reported deaths with 605,703. Here in Ohio, We have seen 45 more reported deaths in the last week. That total number related to COVID, according to the Ohio Department of Health, now at 20,344. We've seen 190 new cases reported in the last day, with 38 new hospitalizations and 203 people currently in the hospital being treated for COVID. Out of those people, 62 are being treated in an intensive care unit, and we've seen 4 new ICU admissions in the last day. Switching gears now, talking about this week's 3 Things to Know podcast. Our topic of conversation this week is making friends as an adult, and our previous conversation was the art of saying no. So this is a bit of the flip side of that, because in order to make friends as an adult, you do definitely have to say yes for things. But what we're talking about here are good, quality, supportive friendships. So in that way, sometimes you do have to say no. You can't always say yes to everything, right? So actually another side of the same coin, going hand in hand here. So my guest this week is Cleveland Clinic psychologist Dr. Scott B. This is his 3rd time joining the show. Happy to have him back. And he talks about how adult friendships are a good indicator of how happy someone is in life and why it's important, and the mental but also physical benefits of having and maintaining those adult friendships. Also, I talk about the immersive Van Gogh Cleveland experience and why that is what you need to know in NEO if you're looking for something to do with a new friend or an old friend, and why Marissa from TikTok and her friends club is a good follow on Instagram. That Instagram handle is No More Lonely Friends. Listen to the full podcast, 3 Things to Know with Stephanie Haney, for that entire conversation. You can also find that linked at wkyc.com/3 Things to Know. Now, if you're paying attention on social media today, you notice the Cleveland Browns have teased an announcement coming on July 24th. They posted 2 different teases on social media today. And if you look very closely, you can see a player's silhouette with the number 75 on the jersey. So people are wondering, is this a jersey reveal? Could this be something to do with the Browns' 75th anniversary? Well, we're going to have to wait until July 24th to find out for sure, but that's what a lot of people are saying online. And we will get that announcement just a couple of weeks before the Browns open up the preseason on August 14th against the Jaguars, before kicking off the regular season on Sunday, September 12th against Kansas City in Kansas City. Something else that's coming up, Wicked will be flying into Cleveland this winter with tickets going on sale near the end of summer. Playhouse Square announced that today. Of course, this is the Broadway show that's inspired by The Wizard of Oz, and it follows Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda, the Good Witch, on their adventures in Oz long before Dorothy shows up on the scene. It's been hailed by critics as an exceptional show. It was last year in Cleveland in 2017. Those tickets will be available August 2nd. Now, if you have been following The Bachelorette this season, you know that we have a hometown guy in the running, and this episode that aired on Monday night might as well have been called the Michael Allio show, because he got a lot of camera time. He got his 4th rose from Katie Thurston, so he will remain in the running for another week. He's one of 12 contestants right now, still vying for Katie Thurston's heart. But he didn't come by it easy. He really had to take some hits for love. There is a scene where he is on a group date and competing with 12 other men, a total of 13 guys on the group date, and he takes a tough hit to the back. Whew, it was hard to watch. You hear the crack. If you look at the closed captioning in it, it just says crack as he gets sort of slammed in the back. We have a screenshot of it on wkyc.com, so if you want to see it, check that out. But he took that hit for love, so to speak. And then Katie called the game. She said, "Look, I'm not here to get people hurt. I'm going to call the game. We're all going to go to the after party." And then at the after party, she pulled Michael away first and talked with him, and he shared a little bit more about losing his wife and how he had had a tough week because it had been what would have been her 36th birthday, but how he was comforted by being there with Katie, and she brings comfort to his life. So those two shared a sweet moment. They shared a kiss, and then he talked more with the guys about his perspective on time after having lost his wife to breast cancer in January of 2019. We have the whole recap on wkyc.com, the breakdown of what he said and how the guys responded to it, and a look at what might be coming in the future, because if you check out the previews, it's a little bit telling about maybe where Michael's journey for love is headed with Katie. Check that out on WKYC.com. And as you know, I was out yesterday celebrating the 4th of July holiday. This is my favorite holiday. There's just something about it. I just love it. So many great memories as a kid going to see fireworks with my grandparents and my brothers and my cousins and my aunts and my mom and all of that good stuff. But the North Ridgeville police are saying 4th of July is over and y'all need to stop, basically. They posted on Facebook, this is from the North Ridgeville Police Department, "In all of my research, I cannot find anywhere where they said we should be blowing off fireworks on July 5th or 6th or August or random Tuesday nights." They went on to say this: "If you live 25 feet from your neighbor, let's all just be cool now. People have to work. They have babies that are trying to sleep. They have pets that have been peeing all over the house for a week. Some of them have PTSD issues and just can't with all of this." And the police went on to say, "Judging by what we saw last night, we had a great 4th, but now it's time to be good neighbors and put what you have left away for next year." So that's a request from the North Ridgeville Police Department to save the fireworks for July 4th, 2022. That's it for your 3 News Now update today for Tuesday, July 6th. I'll see you next up on What's New with your trending stories in Clicking in Cleveland, and I will see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.